Week 14 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few prospects I look to watch and possibly stash this week. The first guy, Max Meyer, the Miami Marlins. So Max Meyer, he's been on the list a decent amount of times this season, and I don't know what this Marlin team's waiting for. I know they're out of it. I know they want to limit the innings, but still, Max Meyer should get that experience where this Marlin team now, they're just playing for next season to see who they got on this roster can make the team next year and help out. So Max Meyer, they could be a spot in the rotation. We know Jesus Luzardo, he's been out a few weeks, and they've been putting guys in and out for his spot. Roddy Munoz, he could be in and out as well. So there's rotation spots, at least 2, maybe even 3 in this Marlin rotation at times where he could slide right in. And even if you want limited innings, he could be a 5-inning pitcher at best for this Marlin team. So this season in the majors, the cup of coffee, he had 2-0 record, 2.12 ERA. 3 games started, 17 innings, 14 strikeouts, 0.82 whip. But in the minor leagues, he's definitely struggled this season. 12 starts, 0-3 record, 5.36 ERA, 43 and a third, 52 Ks, 1.53 whip. So the walks have been an issue for Meyer in the minor leagues. But like I said, he's been in the major leagues last season a little bit, and this year for a cup of coffee, where I think they should just put him in the major leagues and see what he has. It's not like they're trying to go out there and win games, and maybe he gets experience and it can help him for next season. So right now, Meyer, he's available 77%, the number 82 prospect in all Major League Baseball, and the number 3 prospect in this Marlin system. So I thought he'd be up by now, where we saw a few weeks ago, manager Skip Shoemaker said that he's most likely going to be up sooner than later, but obviously that hasn't been the case. The next prospect, Jackson Jobe of the Detroit Tigers. Jackson Jobe, he's one of the top prospects in all Major League Baseball, number 11 overall, and the number 2 prospect in this Detroit Tigers system. So Jobe, I think he's going to be up sooner than later for this Detroit Tiger team. They're dealing with injuries in the rotation. Cameron Mize, he's out with a hamstring injury. Jack Flaherty, he's banged up as well now with the back, and that's always been the case with Flaherty. Injuries just coming and going for him. So Jobe in the minors this season, Double-A and High-A, he's been pitching. 0-2 record, 2.10 ERA. 8 games started, 25 2/3, 32 Ks, 0.90 whips, and now available in 93% of fantasy leagues. Like I said, it might be a little bit of a long shot he comes up, but problems are starting to happen in this Tiger rotation. Montero got called up to pitch, and Matt Manning might just take the other spot, but Jobe's definitely right there. Kenta Maeda, another guy in that rotation that I don't think he's going to last the whole season as well for this Detroit Tiger team. And this Tiger team, they're a fringe type of team, but if they want to get a jolt, I think Jobe could come up and help them. Like I said, he was only drafted in 2021, 3rd overall pick in that draft, but with injuries in this rotation and guys not performing, he could be up sooner than later. So right now, one of the best pitching prospects in all Major League Baseball. Someone to definitely keep an eye on this week. The next prospect, Luis Angel Acuna of the New York Mets. So this New York Mets team, it looked like this season was over, and now they're right there at the brink of a wild card spot. And Acuna last season, he was traded to the New York Mets in the Max Scherzer deal, and he was one of their top prospects in the system. Available in 96% of fantasy leagues. Number 5 prospect in the Mets system. Not in the top 100 though is Luis Acuna, and he plays multiple positions. He could play outfield, he could play shortstop. Obviously the Mets have Lindor there for another 8-9 seasons, and second base is where the opening is, where he plays as well. That Jeff McNeil, he looks finished. Jose Iglesias, he's been a good story, no doubt about it, but going through track record in his career, he's not going to keep up the numbers he's been doing since he got called up. In Acuna, this guy's got 5'2" type of attributes. Obviously, he's not going to be like his brother, but someone who definitely can contribute. And if this Met team wants more energy up there and a guy who can help this team right now make that final push for the wild card, I think Acuna could be the guy on the season. 5 home runs in AAA, 31 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, 61 runs scored, a 270 average, and a 323 on base and 326 at bats. So Acuna's stealing bases. I know he's not that much of a power hitter, but as a catalyst to steal bases and have more speed on the base paths, with the Mets really don't have a lot of speed on their roster. I think Acuna definitely can help in that way. Like I said, Jeff McNeil, he hasn't done much this season for the New York Mets. I know he's versatile. He can play the corner outfield and second base, but he's not hitting the baseball. He don't steal bases or anything. And also as well, Starlin Marte's been banged up. If you want to really keep McNeil on the roster and put him in the outfield, and then you could put Acuna in second, because Iglesias, like I said, I don't think he's going to keep it up. He's been a journeyman, more of a defensive player, but right now he's hitting Iglesias. But like I said, Luis Angel Acuna, I think, could be up sooner than later for this New York Met team, especially he's been hot over the last month of the season. Next prospect, Brett Lauder of the Cincinnati Reds. So Brett Lauder, I've been talking about him on and off on these prospect videos over the last few weeks here. And this Red team, they got some holes in the rotation. Lodolo, he went back on the injury list once again. I know it's only a blister issue, but still, he just hasn't been healthy throughout his career. Bayer, he's been pitching all right. I know you got Graham Ashcraft back in the rotation, even though I don't think he's any good. So right now, Lauder, his numbers have definitely been a problem this season in the minor leagues. Number 21 prospect in all Major League Baseball. Number 1 prospect in this Red system in AA right now. 3-4 record, 5.04 ERA, 64 1/3, 71 Ks. 14 games started, a 1.34 whip. So Lauder, I know he was only drafted in the 2023 draft, but this guy's got a lot of seasoning under him, pitching college and already 22 years old is Lauder. So like I said, one more injury, or if Graham Ashcraft implodes a couple more times in this rotation, even though he held his own versus the New York Yankees in his latest outing, I think we could see Lauder up in the major leagues. I know, like I said, his numbers aren't all that great this season. Here's Brett Lauder with a 5.04 ERA, but AA, that's where the premium hitters are. Maybe they want to see him in AAA, but available right now, Lauder in 98% of fantasy leagues. And like I said, he's one injury away, or Ashcraft or whoever's struggling mightily, for him to get in this rotation. And the final prospect in Kent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So like I said, the last couple weeks here, this Cardinal team, the rotation needs a little boosting, I believe. I know Lance Lynn, he's been up and down. Sonny Gray's definitely been pitching better. Kyle Gibson, his season hasn't been all that great. So I think Tim Kent is going to be up sooner than later for this Cardinal team. Number 43 prospect in Major League Baseball. And he's the number 1 prospect in the St. Louis Cardinals system. So Tim Kent, this season, he's gone out there and he's pitched well. And he's pretty much delivered every level of the minor leagues on the season. 4-2 record, 0.29 ERA, 12 games started, 54 2/3. 73 strikeouts, and a 1.13 whip. So like I said, his control's been pretty good. Strikeout rate really good, 73 Ks and 54 2/3. And then it's just surprising the Cardinals haven't called him up yet. And like I said, they're the 3rd wildcard team, holding on by a thread with a lot of teams right behind them in the standings right now. So Tim Kent, I think, will give this team a boost. We see Pallante still in the rotation for St. Louis, but I think Kent has more upside and could spark this rotation even more. And they're just bound to get an injury or two with a lot of older guys in the rotation, like I said, with Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. So Tim Kent's definitely someone to keep an eye on, and he's one of the better pitching prospects in all Major League Baseball at number 43 this season and number 1 in the Cardinal system. So that's a few prospects I look to watch and possibly stash for Week 14 of the fantasy baseball season.